Today we're on the hunt for a girl's name that's strong, not too frilly or girly, and the name to beat right now is Freya. The names they like are in bold, and based on those I was thinking Anya, Frida, Runa, Laszlo, Arlo, Odette, Iris, Anais, Ellis, Octavia, Arden, Althea, Lola, Odessa, Rio, Aurelia, Isabel, Isolda, Opal, Mira, Cleo, Elodie, Winslow, Bryony, Olivet, Veda, Vienna, Colby, Leo, and Kit. Looking at the names they like, I gave them a ton of names ending with the letter A, the letter S, and the letter O. Their first daughter has a very gender-neutral name, so I included a ton of gender-neutral options for them, along with these traditionally masculine names for girls and then feminine names that have masculine nicknames. And their first daughter has what I call a standout name, where chances are when this little girl is going to be introducing herself to people, she might be the only one with that name they've ever met. So I wanted to include more like standout names. So these are all uncommon for babies. And I spent a lot of time thinking about names that don't feel overly frilly. So I was thinking about like the sounds that go into those names, the endings to avoid, the sounds to avoid. There's a category of names I call wispy names that almost feel like you can just like breathe them out. They're so soft and airy. So I was trying to think of names that were like the opposite of that you needed to have like that fricative or the stop in there to say it. And we're also interested in exploring like mythology names as long as we aren't too on the nose with it. So think like Diana more so than Aphrodite. I always break my top suggestions down into categories. The first one I was focusing on Freya, that name to beat. Freya actually, when I started doing name consultations for the first year, was my most inquired about girl's name. So I went back to that first year of consultations and looked at other names that Freya moms were liking. The ones that were consistent and that I felt like would fit their preferences were Thea, Darcy, Piper, Cleo, and Romy. They're all feminine names, but they still don't feel overly like frilly or airy or light. And a lot of times when you're thinking of strong names, you're not automatically thinking about names that end with the letter A, but there are a lot of strong names ending with A. The ones I thought of were Petra, Calla, Matilda, Ramona, and Vera. And then pulling out all the stops, going completely frill-free: Maud, Blythe, Sloane, Gwen, and Arden. Really leaning into them being open to the gender-neutral, more masculine options: Drew, which I just love for them, Wesley, Bryce, Elliot, and Parker. And then for the honorable mentions, my very favorite for them was Arlo, but they are thinking they might want to avoid A names, but I think Arlo is so perfect otherwise. So Arlo, Maxine, Karis, Inez, Elodie, Avril, Delphine, Odette, Sabine, Laszlo, Vienna, Winslow, Veda, and Kit. But I would love to know what suggestions you have, and I hope everyone's having a great day.